Is this familiar to you?
Mr. Fancy Clothes won't find any answers here.
A free ride for every hotel visitor. Just tell me where to go.
Is everything all right? If you don't feel up to it, I won't tell anyone.
It's just a goodbye, John. It won't be difficult. I've already come to terms with my mother's passing.
So you really don't remember?
To what do you refer?
Funeral. Sherlock, you were distraught. At first, I thought this visit would dredge up those feelings, but you've been remarkably level.
John, I think I was too young to understand. I couldn't fathom why she would leave me.
Perhaps that pain is best left forgotten.
On the contrary, it's why I'm visiting her grave. To remember her.
I thought you wanted to remember, Sherry. Concentrate, and I'm sure it will come back to you.
Don't mind me, sir. I'm just a loyal servant of my crafts.
I thought you wanted to remember, Sherry. Concentrate, and I'm sure it will come back to you.
Mycroft was adamant that we leave for London immediately after the funeral. He never told me why, but I saw how unsettled he was by the long requiem. The service was sparsely attended. Though my parents were buried separately, the pastor said they're united in heaven. I didn't believe him even then. I wanted to see her one last time before the coffin was interred and say how I loved her. The chance never came. I feel rather faint.
You're fine, you're fine. It's over now. You remembered everything. It will get easier soon.
A pocket watch? It seems familiar, John. Why is it here? Rest in peace, Violet Holmes. Goodbye, Mother. This watch was a gift. My mother's initials are engraved on it. The piece is in good condition. It must have been placed here only recently. A candle in a small puddle of wax. Cannot have been lit for more than half an hour.
Is this really how you want to spend this time?
This is my mother's pocket watch, John. Who put it here and why? Are you not in the slightest bit interested? A man in fashionable shoes stood near the tomb. The size of the print suggests he is approximately 5.5 feet tall.
You were about to tell me the make and model of tyre, but let me assure you, I do not care.
Well, it was going to be very impressive. Come on then, the trail continues ahead.
He mustn't be far away to leave it unattended.
It's stained with oil paint. A portable easel was kept there. The Hospitaller crypts. If memory serves, they're located at the far end of the cemetery around an old tree. I hope that inspiration strikes upon visiting these beautiful vaults. At the very least, you'll enjoy the view. Yours, Mercurio.
An artist working in a cemetery? Do you think he'd paint my portrait?
Oh, it's that ridiculous artist from the hotel.
Be nice, Sharon. Make friends.
Mr. Holmes, did you come for another portrait? No, I jest. You gave quite the performance last night.
The hotel was abuzz with your name. I must say I was rather absorbed in it all. The fallibility of men. Such scandal.
It was a welcome distraction.
Oh, my manners. I am Werner Vogel, art enthusiast and gallery proprietor.
Mr. Vogel, I was perhaps too curt when last we spoke.
Speak no more of it. Travel takes it out of any man, never mind when this is your destination. Once I learned who you were, the pieces fell into place. Your mother was well liked on Codona in her time here. I was sorry to hear of her passing.
Does your gallery feature more than just portraiture?
Oh, of course. We display landscapes, sculpture, modern pieces too. I am sure we have something that will move you. You must stop by.
Only music moves me, I'm afraid.
Then you have simply not found your artist yet. Someone whose work hits you in your core. You're still young. I am sure we'll find them.
How did you come to possess my mother's pocket watch?
Oh my! It is quite something to witness those powers of deduction firsthand. Yes, I left you her timepiece. After her death, there was an estate sale. All of Cordona's elite picking of her remains. I couldn't let such a lovely thing go to those vultures. When I learned your name, I could no longer keep the watch in good conscience. It is yours by right, and I knew you'd find it here.
Thank you. I'd forgotten all about it, but the moment I saw it, I knew it was hers. Amazing what the young mind forgets and the older can recall. Rather odd, loitering in a cemetery.
I suspect you'll win, but I'm here for my art. There's beauty everywhere if you look, even in decay. A little darkness brings out the light. Now, a diligent observer might note that you too are loitering in a cemetery. What brings you here? Closure answers penance?
Closure, I suppose.
And what is closure? Mere proximity?
Understanding. Acceptance.
You didn't understand from afar. You had to come here to accept the truth of her death?
Of course I understand. She died of consumption, drowning in her own blood.
Your mother?
Yes, my mother.
I must have been misinformed. I'd heard otherwise.
Otherwise than consumption?
No, you'd know better than I. I'd heard talk of a police investigation, but Cordona is a notorious gossip. And what does it matter? She's passed on either way.
She has.
Well, I shall intrude no longer. I'll leave you to your closure. Do stop by the gallery if your travels permit. Farewell.
Are you all right, Sherry? Take as long as you need.
Whatever I need, it isn't here. We should explore Cordona. Perhaps there are archives that may shed further light.
Stark do this, Stark do that. I'm not a clerk, damn it. How am I supposed to get those records now? Yes? What is it? Would you like to report a crime?
No, I wouldn't. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I want to use the police archives.
Wouldn't we all?
I'm serious.
So am I. Officer Logan locked himself inside and he's not letting anyone in.
But why the archives? Won't that stall everyone's work?
You bet it will. He's looking up all the thieves in Cordona over the past decade. Say one thing for Logan. He's persistent.
What happened exactly?
A tailoress from Scaladio's been robbed. Logan spent 2 whole days at the shop sketching the thief, and she still insists that it's all wrong. That shrew drove him up the wall, she did.
Would you mind if I talk to this tailoress? I could get you the sketch in no time.
Get off your high horse, mister. You think you're better than our sketch artist?
Actually, I'm quite certain I am. Let me prove it.
Well, I see no harm in it, as long as it gets Logan out of there. In fact, I need to look up some records too. Here's the address. Good luck.
I'm pleased to meet you, ma'am. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm here to sketch the thief for the police investigation.
Oh, another one. I hope you'll be more patient than the previous sketches, signore.
Can you describe the thief for me?
He was all ugly and beat-up looking. An utter rascal if ever I'd seen one. He gave me a nasty look from behind his glasses and then made himself scarce.
And that's it? Could you be more specific?
He was a total villain, I told you. How much more specific do you want me to be?
All right, never mind. I suggest we do it differently. You have a great many clothes here, haven't you?
Why, of course, but they're not for sale. I only do tailoring and mending.
No matter. I'll attempt to disguise myself as the thief, and you'll tell me if I get it right.
As you wish, Senor Holmes.
Where can I find the clothes?
They're in my workshop at the back. Be careful, won't you?
What can I do for you, Sherlock? John has wares if you have coin. Oh, look at this old chap putting on airs like some Italian doge. Why don't you disguise yourself as him instead?
We have a job to do, John.
Oh, come on, at least do him first. What can I do for you, Sherlock?
Uncle Giovanni? Oh, signore, you look exactly like my uncle. He's the grandson of the Doge of Venice, you know. I knew you reminded me of someone. You are as alike as two peas. Perhaps you have some royal blood in you, too.
That is flattering, I suppose, but I sincerely doubt it, Mum.
Told you, he's a doge. Now that's a deduction.
He's not an actual doge.
If you say so, my lord, the doge.
Your face is too innocent now.
What do you mean, too innocent?
There was something evil about his face. Like a moustache. Yes, the kind that all villains twirl as they plot their evil plans.
I'd say that not all villains wear moustaches, but I get your point, Mom.
those clothes are wrong. He was dressed in a very fancy beige suit. Must have stolen it from someone. No doubt about it.
All right, I've got it.
He was wearing a hat. Didn't I tell you about the hat? It didn't go well with his suit. That man had no dress sense at all.
Well, what did it look like?
Oh, just a regular hat, you know, black. Ah, it's you. I mean, it's him. It's him.
Excellent. Now I can make a sketch and take it to the police.
Yes, please do. That rascal is still on the loose. I hope they are better at catching than sketching.
Before I go, Mum, are you quite certain that you don't have any clothes to sell?
Well, I suppose you can take the police uniform. An officer forgot it here years ago, and I don't have any use for it. If you want to buy clothes, visit the outfitters. You can find them all over Codorna. I hear they even do free rentals now. Let me show you where the nearest one is.
Thank you very much. Hello again, officer. I've spoken to the tailoress and made a sketch of the thief. It was child's play.
No, really? And she didn't give you any trouble?
No, no trouble at all. She was quite tolerable.
Huh. Who would have thought? Hey, Logan, we've got the sketch. Come on out.
Can I use the archives now?
Well, they're generally not accessible to the public, but you really helped us out, so I'll just turn a blind eye.
I appreciate it, officer.
What did you say your name was? Holmes? Come and see me after you're done. I may have a proposition for you, Mr. Holmes.
John, I just recalled that we were living here on Cordona in a manor. And there was a policeman.
Really? What else do you remember? What happened to our mother?
The memory was vague, a mere flash. I have to find our house.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
I'm done with the archives for now. Can I help you with anything else?
As a matter of fact, you can. The thing is, our chief inspector has vanished, as if we weren't undermanned enough as it is.
Wait, what do you mean, vanished?
Gone missing on a case. Shady business, but that's besides the point. See that board? Pending cases are posted there for any available officers to investigate. I would take them myself, except that I've been told to work the reception desk, like some clerk. Yes, we're that short-handed.
I understand your predicament, but what does any of it have to do with me? I may be available, but I'm certainly not an officer.
Oh, don't worry about it. Consider yourself a temporary one-man independent police force. That's a bit of a mouthful. There's just one small, minor basic formality. You'll need to complete our physical training course. Easy.
Well, I'm not one to balk at a spot of exercise. What must I do?
That's the spirit. Sergeant Ermy will show you the ropes. Follow me.
So, you're a newcomer. We must be desperate to ask untrained civilians for help.
You're lucky to have a well-trained civilian with a brand new auto pistol in his arsenal.
An automatic? A bit of a braggart, aren't you?
Are you trying to test me already?
That is why you're here, boy. I need to verify your skills before I can allow you to catch criminals. The first targets are in the next room. You know what to do with them. I'll join you in a while to see the results.
Concentrate, Sherry. You need to hit every target to show the sergeant how to do it.
Hooray!
Proceed to the next room. Meanwhile, I'll fill out the paperwork.
Come on, Sherry. It's just like in childhood. Steady, Sherry. Steady. And go. My favourite mannequins for attack. Let's strike them ninja style. Aim for where you might take advantage and don't forget the environment.
I could do this all day.
Please don't, Sherry. We don't have that much time. Our enemies might be stronger than us, but we rely on our wits. Shoot off their armour.
Hooray!
All right, let's move on, Sherry. If you stand here and use your snuff box on them, you can definitely overcome them, Sherry. It's all calculated. Uh-oh, Sherry. Uh-oh, Sherry. Not a nice shot. You could have killed the fella if he was alive. Ah, Sherry, you've guessed that you can't use the powder when he has a helmet. I've been sending you brain signals.
Helpful advice, John. I would never have guessed.
Good job, new boy. Well, I'm almost finished with the paperwork. Let's talk about your results. Well, I must say your results aren't as bad as I feared. Perhaps you're not completely hopeless, but true combat is quite different from shooting stationary targets.
I'll handle it just as easily.
Well, that's what we're going to find out. Now, we'll test you against our men. Your task is to detain them, not to kill them. So don't go shooting anyone in the eye. That goes for in the field as well. Even though you'll be working with the police department, that doesn't mean you have a license to kill. Here, take these. They are blank rounds. So, are you ready?
Always ready.
Then let's get cracking.
Worried?
Not at all. I can hit them all with one shot.
Good luck, Sherry, and remember, the surroundings are your playground.
I'm coming for you.
Don't bother moving. You've lost. No more crime for you until next month.
The snuff's ready. I thought we were against murder.
Stop. What do you think you're doing? You could have injured the poor fella. I can't allow you to carry a gun if you'll only use it to kill. Your task is to detain. Don't forget that. Once again, without the brutal shootout this time. Let's start over, boys. That's enough. You've proved yourself. Congratulations on the arrests. I can't believe you did so well with the close combat.
I did tell you that I'm well trained.
Well, do the same on the street, and you'll be well rewarded for every arrest you make. Here is your certificate. You are now an authorized crime scene consultant. Well, it's now your duty to make this city a safer place. Cordona won't ever forget it, but at the same time, it will never remember. I'll tell Stark all the necessary details about your...
Now you're a...
I'm coming for you.
Ow! Don't bother moving. You've lost. Take a rest, my friend.
Time to knock... The snuff's ready.
Oh, don't cry, you'll live.
Give him the pepper snuff.
That's enough. You've proved yourself. Congratulations on the arrests. I can't believe you did so well with the close combat.
I did tell you that I'm well trained.
Well, do the same on the street, and you'll be well rewarded for every arrest you make. Here is your certificate. You are now an authorized crime scene consultant. Well, it's now your duty to make this city a safer place. Cordona won't ever forget it, but at the same time, it will never remember. I'll tell Stark all the necessary details about your successful certification. Congratulations.
Now you're a certified crime scene consultant. Congratulations.
Thank you, my friend. Now, shall we head for Stonewood Manor?
Don't know. You have the whole island to investigate. It's all up to you.
Any progress with the case, Mr. Holmes?
Is this familiar to you?
Excuse me? What? I'm not sure I know.
Hello.
Extra, extra! Look at what you've done! Criminal Luca Gallicci, posing as a medium, confessed to the strangulation of a noblewoman.
Interested in some Cordona news? Check the front page. You won't regret it.
Hey, Sherry, there's post here. And it seems as if the letter was delivered recently.
After reading that, I am even less eager to return home than before. Let's investigate our manor.
That's the Mycroft I know. Predictable.
There she is. Our old manor. It's smaller than I remember.
You were a couple of feet shorter back then, Sherry. Or maybe it's bigger on the inside.
Look at the ash all over the door. I don't recall hearing of a fire.
We don't have to stay here. You can afford another night or two at the hotel.
It's stuck.
Oh well, let's just head back. They probably haven't even stripped our room yet.
Come on. Must be locked.
Move aside. Let me have a go. Seems fine to me, Sherry. This barrier, perhaps it's mental, not physical.
Or perhaps the rest of us are simply constrained by reality, John. I wonder if there's a key secreted somewhere in the garden.
Take a look around, Sherlock. I'm sure you'll discover something.
I did not expect these to still be here. It was enjoyable to practice using real handcuffs to make an arrest.
Hey, that's Wooden Joe. He was always the best at playing criminals.
And this must be the reason our suspect was apprehended. Wood and glass, oh, very precious. An irreplaceable tool for catching a thief. Funny. Wooden Joe reminds me of the trouble we once got in with the police. Do you remember, John?
Somewhat. Maybe we can recall more details.
Why does this barn give me such an unpleasant feeling?
Oh, I know. It's because Mycroft used an axe to shoo you out of here. It scarred you for life, but I enjoyed it.
policeman brought us both home, John. That's why he was here.
I'm pretty sure he brought something else with him too. Do you remember what it was? I bet it was our reward.
No, we were not so lucky. It was a set of lockpicks that we had used to sneak into someone's house. That's why we were arrested.
Did someone come out to investigate all the commotion?
It was Mycroft. He smoothed things over and convinced the policeman not to press charges. The officer left and never returned. But we had to endure a serious talking to from my brother. Mycroft wasn't happy about the fact that we were arrested. It felt like he lectured us for hours.
Did we give him something afterwards, Sherry?
Oh, yes. Yes, now I remember. It was a letter. That's why we snuck into the house. Mycroft asked us to. He wasn't angry we stole, but that we got caught.
Ah, that's right. It must have been only a couple of months after we moved to Cordona. Ugh, the good old days. Whoa.
How very odd it appears that memory stood between me and the manor. It's as if my mind palace had seeped into the real world. This deserves further investigation. Perhaps there's more to discover inside.
As long as there is a comfortable place to put my feet up, I'll be happy. Maybe a chaise longue.
Aha! In we go.
Home sweet home, Sherry.
Mycroft's umbrella, the only outgoing thing in his wardrobe. One of the first things I saw when entering this house as a child. It's like déjà vu.
And I was wondering why it's so empty in here.
There may be a small chance that some of our property could be found among local traders' wares. It is worth a look, wouldn't you say? Hey, this is the luggage we brought from London, isn't it?
Another memory incoming, Sherry.
Strange. I struggle to recall anything about the day we moved in. The only detail I'm sure of is that it was raining early that morning. Hey, this is the luggage we brought from London, isn't it? I remember how angry Mycroft was about these marks. He called it a frivolous, childish endeavor. Another one. There must be something important behind it. I can feel it. Another one. There must be something important behind it. I can feel it. There was always a hat on our stand, but I'm sure it did not belong to Mycroft. Our mother brought a slew of belongings with her. She refused to leave a single thing in London. Mycroft had to spend the whole day dealing with it. This trip was a challenge for our mother. I tried to help her.
Do you feel it? Is it the air shimmering, or is it my imagination?
Your neighbors will be told that Mrs. Holmes is suffering from tuberculosis. It is common to move closer to the sea in such cases.
Thank you, Dr. Richter. No, Sherlock, step away from her. Upstairs, go to your room.
Lean on me, Mother. Take your time.
Actually, I never heard her coughing. I remember now.
Oh, I feel dizzy. It's stuffy in here, isn't it?
John, are you all right?
I'll be okay in a minute. How about we find our room in the meantime?
Look at this. It's like traveling 10 years into the past with a single step. Oddly satisfying. An artifact from Palau carved out of bone and claimed to be 300 years old. My mother proved it was a fake. My very favorite plaything. It was the perfect pirate treasure. Cannot believe all my toys are still here.
Hey, they were not just yours, they were half mine too.
Interesting. What's that over there? This doorknob has a cross-shaped N. Too intricate to be merely a handle.
You know what? That definitely looks like a key. Let's poke around and see if we can find any secrets.
The only fiction book on my table. I can still hear my mother reading it to me. So many pleasant evenings were spent here with the Encyclopedia Americana. Look at this, John. Remember how desperately I wanted to learn the violin? I never had a proper opportunity.
Such a shame. I always hated the rule about being silent in this place.
The first chemical laboratory I ever made. I almost miss its elegant simplicity.
Coal dust from Miner's End, sandy dirt from the old city. We scoured the island top to bottom for these soil samples.
I'll never forget how challenging it was to obtain this simple sketch. Oh, these must be the notes of my earliest observations. We wanted to locate a particular dog we'd spotted, and we met it, didn't we? Need to repeat this one day, but with bullets.
Oh, it reminds me of our neighbour. He had the same balloon in his yard, only bigger. Do you remember?
Yes. We visited him several times while living here.
This time I was first to pick beds. This one's mine now. I heard footsteps upstairs a second ago. Wait, do we have an attic here?
Another one. There must be something important behind it. I can feel it. Perfect match. Made of cherry wood, Father's favorite. Still has a faint odor of tobacco, one of the few things on this island that smell like home. My small archive of crime clippings. Maybe I should pick up this habit again.
I knew you'd find it in no time.
Another one. There must be something important behind it. I can feel it.
Wasn't that neighbour missing a finger?
That does sound vaguely familiar. Wasn't his name, Theodore? Theodore Gilden, perhaps?
It's the perfect time to investigate.
That wretch Goliath would murder us all. Mark my words.
He was certainly under pressure.
An amount of attention that most can only dream of. A strong pull broke this leash.
Poke the elephant with this? Really? People are hopeless.
A pool of blood and saliva, possibly as a result of impact.
Sherlock, take a picture of the footprint. It's valuable evidence. This photograph can help us find the old article about the elephants. The front page was fascinating. It was hard to believe as a child.
True. We may need it in our investigation. A royal suite for a favorite pet.
Plenty of food to satisfy even the most fastidious. This is quite comfy.
Didn't we get to fly in it as children? I doubt it could hold my weight today. Oof, a contortionist you were not. Disjointed vertebrae. Difficult to say if it was a way to start or finish him off. A belt from a dressing gown. Curious. A kneecap reduced to splinters.
He was certainly under pressure.
A kneecap reduced to splinters. A belt from a dressing gown. Curious. Disjointed vertebrae. Difficult to say if it was a way to start or finish him off. A kneecap reduced to splinters. A missing pinky, middle-aged. It's none other than Theodore Gilden.
Oh boy, Sherlock. Another death means another question.
And we shall answer the question. It's far too interesting to give it up to the police. Coal gas tank, enough to pump up an airship. It's seen a lot of use. The blade is worn from grinding. A sailor's knife, useful for cutting wet and thick ropes. Fresh signs of impact. A rough landing led to an altercation with this shed. Hog heaven.
You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate. 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 You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
Lovely to see.
He's even putting up posters.
The best antiques in the district.
He's even been.
My goods will brighten up your house. You always know where to find me.
He's even been putting up posters, poor man.
Does it look remotely familiar to you?
Should it?
Concentrate, Sherry.
A large crowd gathered. I was here, young and passionate about the truth. Mycroft stood close to me. He was keen on my attending every official event, that I might prepare myself for the Crown service.
Lucky for you, that was the last time he did it.
There was a stage here, a tribute. The governor gave his speech there. He was lying through his teeth and nobody noticed, or didn't want to, but I noticed. I was extremely irritated by his lies. I shouted my opinions very loudly for everyone to hear.
The crowd went wild. Concentrate, Sherry.
Are you able to help me?
Nothing I can tell you, sir, but others might know more.
Lost, sir?
Not at all. I'm right where I need to be. I'm Sherlock Holmes, by the way.
Ursula Oni, the chief archivist. How can I help you exactly?
I need to take a look at the history of Cordona and its islanders to retrieve some, hopefully, useful information.
Your brother Mycroft told me that you were direct. And now that we've met, I can see that is true.
Someone in our family has to balance the evasive nature of my brother. Well, may I use the city archives?
You may, of course. But in return, perhaps dinner?
That's a high price to pay for looking at your archives.
I was teasing you. Pay no attention to me.
I'm curious, how did Mycroft recruit you? I doubt you're a field agent. I imagine you work with intelligence.
That's correct. Your brother noticed me when I tracked down a spy at the archives. That's how our cooperation began. And you? Did Mycroft force you into this?
Not at all. We simply have a mutual interest in someone. Or something.
Of course. A fruitful and willing collaboration, I'm sure.
Well, I'm his younger brother. I have to accept the consequences of being a close relative of an official figure.
I suppose, in a way, we are colleagues, Mr. Holmes.
In the remotest way possible, Miss Oni.
All the newspapers are sold out.
Stop the presses. Who is Cordona's handsome stranger? Or Nosebagger spurns local life. Wait, no. Foppish foreigner hides dark past. Oh, you've made quite the impression already, Mr. Holmes. You care to tell your side of the story?
I'm quite certain I have no idea as to what you refer, and I am further certain I have no interest in indulging your gossip.
Gossip? The truth will come out, but will only be heard if told well. Scandal, daring-do, romance. These are the tools of every good journalist. Nothing travels faster or lasts longer than a great story. Young man, your tale will be told with or without you. My readers demand it.
You already knew my name and seem aware of my doings here in Cordona. I presume this newspaper is your little endeavor?
Yasmin Sertel, editor-in-chief of the Cordona Chronicle. Advocate of the free press, voice of the people, scourge of the silk stocking.
Charmed, I'm sure. As an advocate of the free press, I trust you'll permit me to consult your archives? There are gaps in my knowledge of Cordona.
Oh, so my work does have merit. Well, I think we can strike a bargain. I shall provide you access, and you let me keep writing about your exploits.
So be it.
Brooding bachelor builds bridges. Now that's character development.
I guess I owe you my gratitude.
What can I say? I've always enjoyed working with the Holmes. They whisper such interesting things.
That's the article. Feeling old already?
Destruction and trampled ground.
You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate. You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate. You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate. You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
In a fit of rage, the elephant broke the chain and threw its victim on the ground with a fierce power. Escaping the scene, it pulled the body with it, but dropped it at the gate. At least some of this was witnessed by a third party who was hurled against the shed. The elephant can't have gone too far. I can still track it.
Well, suppose you find it. Then what? Push it all the way back to the manor?
Is this familiar to you?
That's a question I can answer.
Nice to see you.
The elephant barged into this cart of olive oil.
What if we're lucky and he slipped and fell somewhere along the way? Okay, hear me out. If an elephant falls in the forest and there's no one around to...
John, no.
Oh, you're such a killjoy. Want to go for a swim?
Strange. It was hung with care. The game has escaped us, for now. We'll find a solution to the elephant problem later.
Why do I get the worst jobs?
This young lady has a childish interest for her age.
You. Who are you?
My name is Sherlock Holmes. Theodore Gilden was...
Did you kill him? Did you kill the elephant?
It's not in the yard anymore. It escaped into the forest.
You can't let it go. What if it returns?
I highly doubt that, Miss...
Imogen Gilden. Please, I beg of you, find that dreadful beast that killed my father.
I suppose we do need to learn what happened. Can you tell me what happened? From the very start.
I was here, so I didn't see how it began. My father visits the enclosure every morning to wake up Goliath. Today, I heard the elephant scream. I've never heard such a horrifying sound. My heart stopped. I knew something was wrong. I looked through my window and saw how it lifted my father up by his neck. I rushed downstairs. I saw it dragging my father as if he were a doll. I threw stones at it. It dropped my father's body and charged outside, screaming. Its roar was almost human. I was frightened, so I ran inside and hid here.
That is a terrifying experience, Miss Gilden. I'm sorry you had to go through it.
Thank you. Goliath must be caught, Mr. Holmes.
Well, thank you for the information, Miss Gilden. I did have some questions for your father. Perhaps you might help me with them?
I wasn't privy to much of my father's life, and it's very hard to think of anything at all with Goliath still loose. Please, Mr. Holmes.
Very well. Do you mind if I ask you more questions if I find anything that might help?
Anything to catch that monster.
I have to leave you for now. Did you observe anyone else in the yard? Any of your servants, perhaps?
Servants? Do you imagine that we would have any with Goliath? No one wishes to work in this house, even for double pay. I didn't see anyone else. Only my father and that diabolical beast. I'm afraid I can't add anything useful.
I have to leave you for now. A commendable effort to barricade the windows. She packed as much as she could carry. The same dull poses on all romantic photographs. So idyllic. Enjoy your happily ever after before it stales. False idols? Oh, sounds utterly dreary.
Hey, Sherry, we need to talk. You found false idols. We need to find the remaining two.
What does bazooka even mean? Would this paper be good for anything but blowing one's nose on?
They're not rubbish, Sherry. There's something more. I'm serious.
Very well. I doubt it'll be worth it, but I will find them for you, John.
You'll thank me later. They're some of the most imaginative books I've ever read.
What did you say?
Speaking aloud helps me think.
Who's a cute bird?
I found this. Who's this young lad next to you, your faithful knight?
Paul. He's my pirate. He's not really a pirate. I just call him that. It probably sounds very silly.
Your secret is safe in my hands. Does Paul work somewhere? What is his surname?
His name is Paul Perks. He and his yacht Whirlpool are the champions of the Salacia Yacht Club. He sails there. I'll show you where it is on the map if you need to meet him.
A yachting champion? Oh, well, that will be a first. I prefer dry land. And so does my suit. How can you read something like this? It's hard to swallow, and that's not due to the hard cover.
You're hardly serious. Any library without Nabe and Laura is incomplete. If you can read, then these books are an absolute must. Love and adventure. They're about life.
Oh, I wasn't aware that exploding pyramids were a part of daily life on Cordona.
You haven't seen life, so you might try reading about it at least.
These bags of yours, it looks as if you've packed your entire room. Were you planning on going somewhere?
My partner and I, we wanted a change, a fresh start abroad. But now I have to stay here. Here, an orphan.
I have to leave you for now. The nicest spot in the room. Mr. Gilden spent hours of his life right here.
Staring at an elephant's backside. What a wonderful life.
Quite the spectrum. From the history of the Roman Empire to conspiracy theories of the French Revolution. Mother. It's nice to see her young and smiling. From before Mycroft was born, our family loves to prod at the past.
Holmes's desire to rake up the past is hereditary.
Oh, the pungent stench of an animal.
Did Theodore seek some pink elephants with this?
I think they were closer than you and me, John.
I'm hurt.
A relatively functional choice to replace the finger. I think Miss Gilden has barely matured. What's so special about this place? Another elephant? partnership annulled with a single stroke of a pen. A catchy title. I should take a photograph of the plans. I don't want to carry them around. His second child? An apparent son and heir, I'd say.
Looks eccentric and smells eccentric.
Do you know anything about this?
That's a question I can answer.
foghorn to navigate and warn others at sea.
It should have a warning to cover your ears. We can become pirates and show them what should be stored in here.
Sails of hatred. I suppose there is something for everyone, including champions.
Who knew archaeology could be so exciting?
Exciting is certainly a word. Bloodied bandages. Has someone been hurt?
Where would a champion hide a key?
Bloodied bandages. Has someone been hurt? The champion's whirlpool. Pools bread and butter. I hope Paul is more skilled at yachting than he is at hiding keys. An expensive set of tools for woodwork. An amateur wouldn't know how to use these. A box full of darts. Each has a needle and can be loaded with drugs. Shipbuilding, shipwright's tricks, sail weaving. Bloodied bandages. To earn big, you have to spend big. Additional earnings to sweeten the victory. An interesting place for a message to a champion. Old betting slips. Paul always bets on Whirlpool. One victory after another. Mr. Gilden wasn't afraid to get his hands dirty.
Too ordinary a room for a champion. There's no incentive to put in any effort.
Do you know anything about this?
Excuse me? What? I'm not sure I know.
Do you know anything about this?
Excuse me? What? I'm not sure I know.
Do you know anything about this?
I can't help you with that, sir.
Had Goliath been aggressive before?
It's dangerous, but it was never aggressive near my father. My father would do anything for Goliath. All the elephant had to do was clap its ears.
You envied him, the elephant, I mean?
Our house is called the House of Ivory. I've heard some people refer to me as the Ivory Girl, and my room stinks of the animal, as if it's me who lives in a pen and not Goliath. It's not envy, Mr. Holmes. It's just incredibly difficult to live like this. I don't have any thoughts on this.
A. Swift, is this name familiar to you? Your father had it removed from this plan.
Oh, that's Arthur Swift. I've seen him a couple of times here. He works with my father in the old city, digging up something ancient.
He is an archaeologist?
That's the word, yes. But to be truthful, I really don't think Mr. Swift is fit to be one. I've just learnt a lot about archaeology from my favourite book series. Oh, they are page-turners.
Inspirational, I'm sure, but would you happen to know where this Mr. Swift might be found?
I don't, but perhaps you can find out somewhere. My father's work with him is all official. Lots of boring legal papers with signatures and stuff. I've nothing to say about this.
Are you aware that Paul smuggles drugs for a dangerous gang?
Mr. Holmes, I've already told you. I call him a pirate in play. He's not an actual pirate. He's a champion and a brave gentleman, not a thug.
Let us agree to disagree on that. But don't be surprised if one of his clients knocks on your door. Have you seen what your father sent to Paul?
This is despicable. My father was never a gentleman, but this crosses the line. I knew that father wasn't fond of Paul, but this is just awful. If only he could have seen how good Paulie is to me.
And, which part of the elephant is in here? It's quite pungent.
Oh, that. It's elephant sweat. Father believed that it might replace traditional ambergris.
Well, that's true entrepreneur spirit. Miss Gilden, I was on this island 10 years ago, and your father knew my mother. I believe I even had the opportunity to ride that balloon outside, but I do not recall seeing you.
I lived at my late mother's in Sheffield at the time. I'm in no spirit to reminisce right now. The elephant is out there.
You've never heard the name Violet Holmes before? Perhaps your father...
Please, Mr. Holmes. With that beast roaming free, I can't think of anything.
Very well.
treasure maps from the governor. Find 8 and come back for more.
Not bad.
From day to night, Aiden stands there, recruiting non-rebellious workers for the dig. From day to night, Aiden stands there, recruiting non-rebellious workers.
You're being an eyesore. No entry for you.
From day to night, Aiden stands. From day to night, Aiden stands there, recruiting non-rebellious workers for the dig.
Şimdi çok daha iyi hissediyorum.
Bugün kendimi pek iyi hissetmiyorum.
From day to night, From day to night, I'm guessing you didn't get what you were after. It happens. I always wanted a pet cat.
Aiden's...
From day to night, Aiden stands there.
Merhaba.
The market square, beating heart of the old city.
I wonder if they still sell that heavenly Turkish delight around the corner.
Don't pass by. Welcome. Welcome.
Merhaba. It's a good day for a purchase. Don't hurry, we can bargain.
Let's pick something that suits you.
Don't leave. Take one more look. Don't miss out on my unique clothes.
Can I ask you a question?
I can't help you, friend.
Can I ask you a question?
Why don't you go and ask your rich friends?
Don't miss out on the best carpets on the island.
Stop blocking the view.
Nice affordable clothes. Step right. Let's pick something that suits you. A good choice. A good choice indeed.
Stop blocking the view.
Don't miss out. Let's pick something that suits you. Don't leave. Take one more look. Let's pick something that suits you. A good choice. A good choice indeed.
Sir, kind sir, might I steal your attention?
I am not buying.
Ah, that is the thing. You won't waste a single mangir. I am a digger, you see, and I have heard of a dig site so deep it clogs your ears. I want to be there.
Why are you telling me this?
I have heard of a man recruiting for such a dig. A man with a scar, such as the one that you're hiding. And your boots are dirty with the deep clay I am so familiar with. Oh, I hope it wasn't too rude of me to point that out.
You have a good eye. And you just want to dig? Dig deep and that's it? What's the catch? Are you in desperate need of money?
Oh, there is no catch, sir. I won't even ask for advance pay. Just give me a shovel and I'll dig a hole like you've never seen.
Huh. Is that so? Well, I have to ask you an important question first. Would you be fine working for Brits?
I am all for them.
Well, you say that, but can you prove it?
You know how much I love tea? Once I drank so much of it, my eyes turned brown.
Fine. You're a fan. I'll give you that.
I can also speak in limericks.
Please don't. You might be a little bit weak in the head, but a natural-born digger with a keen eye is what we need. Take this permission slip and go to this address. The guard will let you in and check with the professor once you're there.
Stop loitering and get inside. Newcomer, talk to the professor first. He's the old fellow with the glasses and the plans.
Don't touch anything here. Get back to work. Where's the fire in your eyes? Where's the smile? I am sick and tired of seeing apathy among the new workers.
Sir, believe me, I do have the spark. I want to start work straight away. It's as important to me as it is to you.
Ah, that's the spirit. I'm on the verge of a great discovery.
I am ready to work.
Splendid. Do you know what I am working on?
Archaeological treasure. You're hoping to find something priceless, something that will change our history.
Bravo, young man. I couldn't have said it better myself. It's true. We're looking for Vitus Lemonius's tomb.
I'll help you. That is my goal as a worker.
Good. Listen to me carefully, then. I hate repeating myself. I am Professor Swift. We have 3 rules here. Don't touch anything, always return the tools, and don't distract me unless you find something.
Sounds simple enough. Are you the only one in charge here, Mr. Swift?
Yes, I am the only one and no one else. You hear anything other than that, it's a lie. People of your kind can have difficulty understanding who's in charge. Take a minute, memorize my face, and then get to work.
Oh, I will definitely take a closer look to memorize my superior. I wish I could be as passionate about something as you are, Mr. Swift. You value knowledge and dedication over everything else.
It's a long road, young man. A sharp eye and attention to detail are the only stepping stones along this path. You have to sacrifice everything you love for the larger prize.
Exactly. So much in life is superficial. I wish more people would understand.
I never heard a truer word, lad. Folk will ignore what truly matters in life, and for what? Convenience.
Bold words indeed. I doubt that many scientists would be willing to support their bragging with fieldwork.
The academic world is full of restrictions. Our honorable professors are too afraid to dirty their hands. God forbid if they have a stain on their shirt. You can follow in my footsteps. You can start learning by returning to work. Show me what you can find. Take a shovel and dig.
A plan for this whole operation. This might prove useful. I'll note it down. This reminds me of my father's room.
Let me warm my bones here.
Swift lost his temper when he learned what happened to the statue. Swift lost his temper when he learned. Swift lost his temper when he learned.
Quite daunting to see how deep the dig is. Working and living by the sea. What a dream.
Somehow the text remains legible. Let's see if I remember my Latin.
Take a shovel and dig. Take a shovel and dig.
Not while he can see me. Not while he can see me. Straw dolls. Eerie, but effective for a scene recreation.
Oh, I want one of these. Or two.
Oilcloth. Won't fade and waterproof. Enough here to make 10 sails and more.
Take a shovel and dig.
A goddess? A mother? Someone's wife? There were 4 statues here originally. A sickle for harvesting. The ancient Romans honored the seasons.
I wonder what the 3 other statues look like.
I see now. Mr. Swift didn't realize the significance of the statues.
You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
It seems everything's in place. Now, let's see what this has to tell us.
Take a shovel and dig.
Not while he can see me. Help me, please.
I like you, friend, but I can't help you.
Here is your discovery, Mr. Swift. Hey, look at this.
What have you found? Don't let anyone touch anything there. Eureka! I found you, my friend.
A box of darts. Handy against rodents of all kinds.
Trying to take over my research, are you? I come here to pick up my diary, and I find you snooping around. Explain yourself.
Mr. Swift, if that were true, I would have been on my way to the newspaper. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I didn't have a chance to introduce myself properly.
Outrageous! You deceived me, sir. What is the reason for your being here? Who sent you, Mr. Holmes?
Theodore Gilden's premature death brought me here.
Theodore is dead? How can that be possible?
I'm thinking of all the possibilities, and I'm not crossing out anyone who might have been involved. Even his elephant. The land you're excavating belongs to Mr. Gilden, does it not?
Did I hear an accusation? I have nothing to hide. You can ask me whatever nonsense you've prepared as a token of my diminishing respect towards you.
Very well, Mr. Swift. I appreciate your cooperation. When was the last time you saw Mr. Gilden?
A couple of days ago. We discussed the site. I believe in the tomb and its secrets. Theodore's patience was stretched, however. He was already inventing new projects. It wasn't a long conversation. I suppose that his daughter will inherit everything now, along with all of the eccentricities and problems.
And not forgetting Goliath.
Eccentricities and problems, Mr. Holmes. One of many.
Were you at the site this morning?
Affirmative. This project is taking a lot of my time, as you see. I spend more time underground than on the surface.
When did you learn about Theodore's death?
Just now. You just told me.
And you aren't surprised, shocked? I won't tell anyone if you shed a tear or two. Weren't you partners, after all?
We were. And it is a real shame. But I've seen too many deaths in my life, Mr. Holmes, for the news to truly shake me. Will you allow me to return to my research? Or are you insisting on remaining an obstacle?
Oh, I haven't even started yet. What's with this box of darts? Is it for a scientific argument?
A little darker than that. Rather for killing the kind of rodents that might nibble a nose or a toe in your sleep.
Let's just say I have to protect myself against a larger animal, such as an elephant. Might it be enough to stop it, make it faint?
If I were you, I wouldn't bank on it.
You have a weakness for nostalgia. Or, rather, do you use it to record a list of enemies?
Young man, you need to check your moral compass. Reading another person's diary is a sin in every culture that I can think of.
But you aren't answering the question.
You've already read it. Why bother? I simply record my life to keep my memory clean from misinterpretation. Letters and pages don't lie.
But the writer of the text can.
Your insinuations are out of place. Goliath is a frightening animal. All I wished to do was to understand the creature. As any scientist would do, I researched, analyzed, and drew conclusions.
And what conclusion did you draw?
That Theodore Gilden made the animal miserable. He couldn't provide the proper environment for the beast. My interest in the subject ended there. Moving on. Moving on.
Did this plan cause a rift in your business relationship with Theodore Gilden?
Nothing like that. Admittedly, we didn't share a common vision of what is more important, the past or the future. In my opinion, we can't build a future without knowing the past.
So you wanted to save the tomb of Vitus here, or perhaps your control over the research?
Only the knowledge that rightly belongs to humankind, nothing less and nothing more. I'm a busy man.
Gilden's elephant is quite an unusual addition to Cordona's fauna. What is your scientific opinion on that?
No matter how much Theodore loved it, it still remained a wild animal trapped inside a stone pen. Goliath needs savannas, fields, lakes.
I'm sure that Goliath did not have a plan to kill his owner to head to the savannas. What do you think?
No, animals don't kill in a typical sense. I can only presume that it tried to protect itself from captivity, from Theodore. It was a gilded cage that was predestined to break.
Remember one of the rules? It seems that you didn't return a tool. Is this knife yours?
Do I look like a fellow who carries a knife? I don't need it.
There are plenty of uses for it on the site, and outside of it.
I have other people to cut ropes for me, Mr. Holmes. I've nothing to add. I'm a busy man. I'm a busy man. Moving on.
Have you seen this person before? The one beside Imogen Gilden?
No, but he's with Imogen, so I suppose that he's a friend of hers. That girl always has her head in the clouds. I could have said Theodore was different, but that wouldn't have been entirely true.
Away with the fairies, was he?
That's one way of putting it. Either way, I don't know much about Imogen's life or her friends. The type of elite that pretends to be educated. I'm a busy man. I've nothing to add. I've nothing to add.
Your partner had a very specific attitude towards the things he treasured. Was this habitual for him?
That would have been too much even for him. Don't get me wrong, he had a harsh temper. Like a true businessman, he was ready to burn his competitors to the ground.
But threatening someone physically would have been something new even for him, am I correct?
Absolutely. Besides, I had never seen him this angry. The fellow who received the letter must have been extremely alarmed.
What's with this intricate recruitment process? Pro-British workers charge less?
As a head of this organization, I need to secure a productive environment. It's impossible to do so if there are political differences, especially here, where the native population doesn't support our efforts to find the ancient artifacts.
Decent pay can also stimulate productivity and shut down any political discord. Hadn't you thought of that?
You're young. You have time to fritter and fight with everyone you meet. I don't have such a luxury. Our workers receive enough pay for what they do. So don't start a discussion you know nothing about.
bloodied bandages.
Too ordinary a room for a champion. There's no incentive to put in any effort.
Are you able to help me?
Excuse me? What? I'm not sure I know.
Too ordinary a room for a champion. There's no
Are these
incentive to
bandages?
put in any effort.